Hello. Catholics believe that baptism is necessary for salvation. It's a topic that many Protestants disagree with. And I'm going to focus on the Gospel of Mark, chapter 16, verse 16, and use very basic logic to prove that, in fact, baptism is necessary for the forgiveness of sins and therefore salvation, as the Catholic Church teaches. Simply put, because Jesus said so. So in Mark chapter 16, verse 16, Jesus states that whoever believes and is baptized will be saved. It says both. He also states that if you don't believe, then you will be condemned. At this point, Protestants go, aha, see, Jesus only condemns those that don't believe, meaning that baptism is not necessary. But logically, does that hold water? Does it make sense? Well, let's see. And I'm going to use what I think is an interesting comparison to help illustrate my reasoning. My brain works in kind of odd ways, so hopefully you will find it interesting as well. I'm going to use colors. We know that, for instance, red plus blue equals purple. It's just a fact. Well, in the same way, we also know that belief plus baptism is needed to be saved. Jesus said it, so we know it's the truth. He says you need both. So red plus blue equals purple, just as belief plus baptism equals salvation. Now, what happens when I take away belief? Well, we see that blue doesn't equal purple, and baptism alone doesn't equal being saved. If you don't have belief, you will not be saved, just as Jesus said, and Catholics believe this. So the Protestants might be tempted, though, again to say, well, see, you only need belief to be saved. But let's continue the logic. So what happens when I take away baptism? Well, we see that red doesn't equal purple, and therefore belief alone doesn't equal being saved. If you don't have baptism, you will not be saved. Jesus doesn't have to say it explicitly because he already previously established the truth that you must have both belief and be baptized in order to be saved. Per Jesus, both belief and baptism are necessary, period. Condemning a lack of belief doesn't mean that not being baptized isn't also condemned. Jesus just didn't mention it. And we shouldn't try to put words in Jesus' mouth that he never used. Jesus' silence on baptism doesn't mean the same thing as if he were to have stated that a person is condemned if not baptized, which he never did say. Thinking that actually makes no sense logically based on Jesus' previous statement that both belief and baptism gets you saved. Belief plus baptism equals salvation. That's what he said. Red plus blue equals purple. And so hopefully this logic makes sense to you as it does to me. I just look at it and says, keep it simple. Trust in Jesus and his words and his church. And I hope this logic helps you in your faith journey. And God bless you and the Catholic Church.